Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka like Quinn Lisa, and today I have a question for you. Here in Oklahoma, they are getting ready to vote on a bill to require all private businesses to accept cash as legal tender, or yeah, to accept cash. I don't know if the legal tender part is in there. We're going to read through this article or go over it, and I'm curious what your thoughts are. So let me know in the comments. If you're in the live chat, jump in and let us know what you think. If you're watching this later, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. I'm going to ask Sean what his thoughts are. So we'll be right back with my buddy Satoshi Sean right after this. Hey, Sean, how are you?
I'm doing good, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. We had a good day today at Homeschool Co-op, so I'm super happy. We had a little Valentine's party, and Kenan, I meant to have it in here and show, because I have 5 children, and then my husband has 2, so we have 7 together. And my big kids are all, grown up, most of them married off and all this. And Canon, like during the lunch break, made me a little Valentine. They all had this little art project thing they could do, and Canon wrote, "I love you, Mom," and then gave it to me and came over, gave me a big hug and a kiss. It was so sweet.
That's very sweet.
They love you when they're little, and then they grow up. They still love you when they're big, but then
Yeah, I know. They forget about you.
they forget about you. Yes. So
I remember I used to think my mother was so annoying, and my ex would get really, really pissed. She's like, your mother calls her like every other day at least. She's like, tell her to limit it to once a week. And now, like looking back on it, I'm like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
But yeah, your mom was over on my channel, so I hope she.
Oh, my mom was over on your channel.
Yeah, I posted that it's coming on later.
Yeah.
There she said driving, so I think she's probably waiting for it to
Oh, I hope
start over there.
she
But I think she'll
understands.
figure it out.
Maybe she'll jump over here.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Did you play our True Tuesday thing?
Oh, no, I didn't. I played the wrong one again.
It's okay. I was like,
Well, I'll play it on the way out when we jump over to your channel. Yeah. Yeah, you made me a little intro, outro for our show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget.
I need to do a new one. I have a new channel, so.
A new channel?
A new channel.
I didn't know that.
Crypto Camelot Gaming.
Camelot.
Yeah,
oh.
Crypto Camelot.
How very Kennedy-like of you.
Getting it set up just for like Web3 gaming, gambling and stuff. So I don't, put my channel at risk.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's me and Lee are like just hanging out. And we'll, stream him losing money when he doesn't listen to me.
Oh, you guys in the chat are blowing up all kinds of interesting stuff. Bitcoin is now the world's most popular investment asset.
Oh.
I hope that's true, Phil C.
Well, Phil, I think it is because
I hope people are getting out of that old system.
But there's so many people that aren't in the system. You know what I mean? If you took if you just went into a restaurant, go into Applebee's, and everyone there's only so many people that are, invested in the stock market. Probably everyone has a savings account. But as far as like investments, people don't have much CDs. Bitcoin is something everyone, is kind of aware of now, and something everyone can get. It's on the Cash App.
That's true. With it being on Cash App, everybody can get
most accessible, air quotes, investment that there is.
I love that.
Especially, can you imagine if like Robinhood and those apps weren't around? It would be, it would have been the biggest investment much sooner. But But yeah, it's because it's
I
available.
love you too.
It's available.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Yeah, I am for I am. I think I'm gonna create a shirt. You know how when I'm on World Blockchain Roundtable, my little second name, my co-name is hashtag enough. I think I'm gonna make red shirts that say hashtag enough and put it in my like. I don't know if you make anything off your. You know how YouTube has those like store with merch or whatever.
Yeah, you
I've
make a
never,
lot of money.
I've never made anything from my merch store.
Really?
But yeah, I guess nobody's bought
Yeah,
anything.
tell me about it.
But I could make a. Or do I want to do it in my eBay Etsy store and have people go there? But
Well,
then I have to
connect
physically
it.
make the shirts and send them to people.
You just get it drop shipped. It's easy.
I don't know how to do that. How to
Well,
set up a
it's
drop
yeah,
ship
you don't know how to
store.
mail things? Yeah, I know. I'm still waiting for my Christmas present, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I still haven't mailed you your
You
Christmas.
have a business where you mail stuff. It's not like you're just a regular person.
I do. I
Go
yeah.
to the post office.
I'm looking right at it. It's right there in my closet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's terrible. I need to get
With my wound. All right.
before we get off your show, remind me, and I will physically grab it and go put it in the
Okay. In the pile to mail.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
No, so if I did it in my eBay Etsy store, I guess I could create it in my Etsy store, but
Yeah.
then I have to make the shirts myself with my Cricut. But then they'd be like custom made shirts by me.
You have like a conscience, like Jimmy, like the little cricket that helps you make shirts.
Do what?
You have like a little Jiminy Cricket buddy, like your conscience.
No, it's called a Cricut. It's a machine that you make. You can make.
Yeah, I think my son Nick, he bought one. So he was like, I'm starting my own business, and it didn't. He gave up on it after a few months.
Oh no, I make like anytime Carly goes to a competition, I make like Team Carly, like I make shirts for I make me and her husband and my husband wear the shirts.
Remember back in the day, you could just like get the iron-on letters and.
That's what it is. I
Oh,
make
okay.
yeah, and so it cuts out like different things and then I iron on the letters, you know, the little design. I make a
Oh,
little
like my
design.
hat that you gave me.
Yeah, but
Uh,
then the iron on the hats are very difficult
Very
because
good.
I don't have the hat machine.
I
So
don't wear it
like
because the letters are
and
like.
then the letters fell off.
Yeah.
And that was one of my first things that I did. You have to have like the right heat. You have to like it's a whole thing.
And I don't have an iron anymore, so
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to mess with it. It's just next to
You
me.
don't have an iron at all?
No, we had one for a while, but we're all guys, so you know.
So you don't iron your shirts at all
No,
or your pillowcases?
no one
Or
does that.
anything?
That's not a real thing. You're making stuff up.
Okay.
No one irons their pillowcases.
Or your napkins or anything?
Paper? You think I have linen napkins? No.
Oh, now I know what I'm getting you for next year for Christmas.
I said we're a.
Linen napkins for you.
I was in the bathroom, and I was like, "You don't have any of those nice hand towels?" Because I like to have a little. I put up this shelf, and it has a little hangy thing, and I like a little like towel, but I just put like a washcloth there. And if I like wash my face or something, I use it. I just hang it up. It dries. But Alex, he's in charge of cleaning the bathroom. He keeps taking it, putting the dirty clothes after I use it like 15 times. But and then there's nothing because I dry my hands on it too. So I'm like, if I had one of those nice towels that like you're not supposed to use that are hanging up, I could just dry my hands and nobody would ever touch that.
I will get you multiple ones that you can swap them out, like
Yeah.
and wash it and then put the new one in and then wash the other one and yeah. I'll send you extra gifts with your
Yeah.
Christmas gift.
I usually just take it out of the dirty clothes and wash it in the sink and hang it up
Don't
again
say that.
too.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
this isn't that stiff. And then I'll wash it in the sink and
Oh
hang it.
gosh, you guys, I sound like
Like,
college boys.
don't take the hand towel down if you don't replace it.
Oh my goodness.
Go there and wash my face, and then I'm like, well, no towel. Then I wash
Oh,
my face. Then I dry my face with my shirt.
like it sounds like you need a motherberry badly.
Yeah. Well, it used to be a lot worse when they were young. So my girlfriend came over and she's like, every time I come to your house, it's like coming to a frat house.
That's what I'm thinking.
Literally, it's kind of smells like a frat house.
Oh, no, 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 no.
And then
Don't say
she was
that.
like, "Why are there chickens in the tub?" And I'm like, "Because they wouldn't fit in the sink to thaw."
Oh,
Duh.
God, I thought you meant like live animals.
Yeah, people. No, they were just frozen chickens. I had to make 3 chickens because she had kids, I had kids. So it's 3 chickens, and they had small sink, so it wouldn't fit in there. So I put
You
them
put
in
them in the
a tub.
bathtub?
Yeah, they're covered in plastic. It's like
Okay.
she left Ashley. Oh, when she's like, "I'm leaving."
Mm,
Chickens a freaking tub. Come back in 2 hours.
crazy.
Uh,
Okay, so what I want to get your opinion on, and I want to talk to you about this because I figure you would let me think critically about this, and we need to think about our constitutional rights, right?
uh,
And private businesses and their right to choose for themselves, and then you can tell that business like, I don't support your decision. So I don't know, I kind of went like, at first I was like, yeah, they should force businesses to accept cash because that is constitutional money, legal tender, all this. And then I also have a lot of questions around, because I've seen people talk in the chat about like, what is the definition of money versus legal tender and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know if you have information about that, but they in Oklahoma, there's this discussion where there's this going cashless is something people were seeing. And I guess with the great infection, they pushed a lot of that. But there are also businesses that say like, look, it's dangerous for us because of risk of people,
yeah.
breaking in or robbing us or whatever. And so they're applauding the ease of use for card, or because of the safety issue. They're trying to say that. And so that they shouldn't be forced to take cash. But there's a bill that they're going to be voting on now. It went through whatever the process is enough. A bill was heard in front of the Banking and Finance Committee on Monday. Lawmakers wanted to see some more exceptions, such as safety reasons, added to the bill. Representative Chad Caldwell says, walk me through why you think it's okay for us to be telling private industry what they can and cannot accept to
Yeah.
set their own policies. And then Representative Hardin says, we need to protect our own freedoms to pay in cash. So the cashless ban bill passed out of the committee in an 8-2 vote, and under the proposal, there are some exceptions as to what businesses would still be able to be cashless. So it's
See,
going to be heard for a vote on the House floor.
this
So
is the
what
thing.
are your thoughts on
So
this?
my thoughts on it are that there shouldn't be this committee. That's the bad. That's the whole thing. Okay, some things are not simple. They're
Okay.
not. Like you could be a total huge libertarian, and I believe that people should be able to do any kind of drug that they want, and government shouldn't be involved. But then you could also believe I don't think people should do heroin and blah 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 blah. It's some things are a little bit complex. Absolutely, the government, but a good rule of thumb to kind of keep you on track is to close your eyes, and the whatever the argument is doesn't matter. So that frees you up right there. None of that matters. There is no argument. The main thing is anything that gives government more power is wrong.
Okay.
That's a way to simply walk away from it, no matter what it is. It could be like, and
They
that's
shouldn't be making the rules.
exactly.
I see what you're saying.
Whenever it's that thing, like you can see it now. It's like, hey, when it's for our side, I'm happy and it's great. You know what I mean? It's great. Alex Jones getting taken off. No, that's bad for free speech. It's going to screw everything. No, I hate Alex Jones. And then boom, you're now where we are like 3 years later, 4 years later. People are getting deplatformed. It's just things you never thought possible are happening. So yes, it's a marriage of convenience. They want to get rid of cash. They want to get us. They want more control. They want to be able to track us. And then there are legitimate concerns, like it makes us a target. We have all this cash, blah, blah. It's so
Right.
they're like, hey, let's use this to our advantage so we can get more power, more authority. And then they're making the decision. it's just something that's not a simple, not a simple answer. But they should be able to take whatever they want. Like my truck blew up. It's done. Ted's Mustang still broke down. It needs a new computer, so I need to buy a new car. Talking with this guy, I'm like, hey man, let me give you this much cash, and I'll give you like 100 ounces of silver.
Mm.
And he's an older guy, but he was like, what am I gonna do with silver? No, I was
Oh
like,
my God.
crap. And now, so now I got to sell the silver. And it's 100 ounces, so to send it back to the place is going to cost a decent amount of shipping and all. But I shouldn't. It's like he just because he's kind of brainwashed, he didn't even want to like talk about it. It's not even a thought. Um, so that's just how some people are. But just always step back, and it's like anything that gives the government more control or lets them exercise control they really shouldn't have.
Right.
Like he said it perfectly. Why are we telling small businesses they have to take something?
Right.
Because if they can tell you what you have to take, they can tell you what you can't take.
Right. That's
So
true.
that's giving them power. It's the opposite side of the coin. You might like
It
heads.
is them tricking us into thinking that that they are
They're in control.
giving us our freedom.
Yeah, it's like they let you have guns in
They
America.
let you have your freedom.
No, they don't let us have guns in America. Your
Yeah.
government took your rights away to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Now you're like, literally, the funny. It's not funny, but a friend of mine who lives in Liverpool, Irish guy, and he was like, man, my girlfriend's pregnant. I moved her into my apartment. And these drug dealers just moved in down the hall, and they got people coming all the time buying drugs. They're hanging out in the hallway. It's really bad. I'm really nervous. I got to go down to the hardware store and get 2 more hammers. I was like, are you gonna build something or reinforce
because
your?
that's
He's like,
like
no,
the
I got my
of guns there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And knives. Knives are now. If you like, they talk about knives the way we talk about guns. Did you see the Idris Elba thing?
The what?
The Idris Elba podcast.
No.
He's on this with these guys, and they're literally. I'm not joking or exaggerating. They're like, how mental is it, bruv? You just go into a store, and get a knife. Yes, you're right, mate. I think it's crazy. I mean, I understand. Like, I go in there and get a butcher knife or something I'd give for cooking, but I don't have to tell anyone. I don't have to prove anything. Give ID. I just walk in and walk out with with a knife, and they're like, "Yeah, man, it's crazy," and they're not joking. It's real. Um, in parts of Asia, every knife, even like handmade ones in like the markets, are they have serial numbers and they're registered. Like you have to buy
What?
a knife. Yeah, just like a gun, you can only have so many. If you buy a bunch of knives, they're the ATF or whatever, and
Like you're put on a list
they'll come out like, why
for
3 knives?
being a best chef?
Yeah, why'd you buy 3 knives? I thought, oh, I had 3 weddings. I gave him this gift. So you have to, that's for a knife.
Wow.
So it never stops. It never stops.
Yeah.
It's
That's
that
crazy.
inch will take you a mile.
H Hyan, and I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. I apologize. It has a good point. Government is going to introduce a CBDC and will oblige to only pay with government money. So that could become a dystopian world. So
Yeah.
if they could pass this law that says, oh, every business must accept cash,
This
like
is
they
cash.
use these
Right.
word
Yeah.
salad. Oh, well, we were giving you your freedom, and now you must accept cash, what we call cash, which now we're going
Or
to
now you can't
switch
accept
it and call
paper
it
cash.
CBDC as
Yeah.
cash.
Now you can't accept paper cash. You can only accept the digital.
CBDC.
And
Yeah. So then your business is forced to accept the CBDC.
and to not accept the paper cash. See, and that's the
Right.
thing. They can tell you if they can tell you what you can, they can tell you what you can't.
That's dangerous.
And if I imagine if it was illegal for me to try to use silver to buy the car.
Wow.
Think about that, because if they could tell, it's like, oh man, you can't transact that, in silver. Because when I go down to the tax office, how much did I pay for it? Was it under spot, over spot, spot?
Right.
but I have to pay taxes on that. That's a legitimate argument. And when I
Wow.
buy it, I got like 6 months to register it. What if silver drops by half?
Yeah,
Now
then
suddenly
what day
I
do
pay,
you report?
now I paid $1,000 less for the car. Did I? Because it's worth less now than it was then, or what? That's an argument that they could make, but they shouldn't be allowed to make the argument. It should be none of their business.
It should be
You know,
none of their business. Well, and here's the other thing. I had a friend that I met through my thrifting, resale business, whatever, and he was like saying something about he was talking with a friend and he said, um, well, no, there's no tax on this because that was already paid tax on it the first time.
everything has been overtaxed.
So you wouldn't pay tax on it again because it's already had tax paid on it. It's
But your money you're using has been taxed when you earned it.
yeah.
So
And then you're buying something new, like a new item, I guess you're supposed to pay tax on, but then if you're reselling it, it's already had tax paid on it.
yeah, true.
So it shouldn't have tax paid on it again.
Stephanie, we're talking about the Oklahoma state. Um, well, yeah, but it's a sales tax because you're selling something. Maybe they could see that. I guess they should call it a resale tax, not a
But
sales.
then that's not, if that's not a law, that it's a resale tax, they were calling it sales tax.
Yeah. See that's something that I think
It's
someone would
not a
argue.
new item.
Right, it's already been taxed. The
It's
item has
already
been taxed.
been taxed for
But
sale.
are they taxing the item or are they taxing the purchase?
The what? I'm sorry.
Are they taxing the item or are they taxing the purchase?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
It's a sales tax. It's not an item tax. But some things are item taxes. Like if you buy a boat, it's a different tax. If you buy certain things, have luxury taxes.
Right, because
Also,
that's when you register it, they
but
have you
see,
pay
once again,
that.
Lisa, we're talking. You're the forest for the trees.
I
Let's
know.
say you're buying a Cupid doll, and then we're having to resell it. The people that made the Cupid doll sold it to the stores, so they
That's
paid a
true.
sales tax and income tax and sales
At the
tax
time that it was sold to the
after they
store.
made it. So
Well,
they
but a
made it.
lot of times they don't because they're wholesale, so they don't pay tax
Well, see, that's well,
when
then
it's
that
sold to the store.
because when you get to the corporations that can afford to pay off the
Right,
politicians,
because
they don't have to pay tax.
they're going to pass the tax on to the customer who will pay the tax. But then that even brings up the point even more. Then that was the point of sale. That's when the tax would occur. So then when you resale, that would not be a taxable event because it was paid at the time of sale.
Perfect example of this is we've all been here because we're all toilet trained. We can all we're not babies. So we've been around for the creation of the internet and online shopping.
Yeah.
You remember not too long ago, if you bought it online, there was no sales tax. There was no
It used
tax
to be
at
that
all.
if you bought in another state, people
No,
were
no,
like,
but first
"Oh, I'll ship it to you so there's
yeah,
no sales
first
tax."
there was no tax at all.
Yeah.
Then because like we're having this argument, uh, uh, these agencies and states said, "Oh, we decide what needs to be taxed. We're sticking our nose in it." Then if you bought it in your own state online, you had to pay tax. But if you bought it from someone on eBay,
Yeah.
unless they were in your state, you didn't pay a
Right.
sales
You
tax.
didn't pay.
And then they're like, "Hold on, we've already said that what you can do here, you're taxed this way. We're going to make it so everyone has to pay tax, and then you have to pay taxes, and it's not really fair because if I buy something, uh, or if you're in a state that has like high uh, state tax, we don't
Mhm.
have a state tax here. I've never paid a state tax in my life. So, uh, but someone who has like a 1% sales tax in their state because they have like a 30%, state tax, they're gonna buy something online and pay to them. It's a ridiculous amount of taxes. Like, oh my god, I'm paying 8 times what I usually pay in sales tax.
Mhm.
It's just it's because you let them have some kind of power and authority where they start arguing like, hey, it's none of your business.
Wow.
You know?
We just have been so like infiltrated and corrupted, co-opted.
But we've allowed it.
We have.
Like when people outside of the gun community, like most people are just oblivious and stupid. Even politicians. Was it Beto? He was like, you can't buy a grenade launcher. And then I was like, yeah, you can buy a grenade launcher. But poor people can't do anything. If you have money, and lots of politicians will say, and most of them are smart and say pretty much functionally, they put some kind of word in front of it, you can't buy a machine gun. Anybody can buy a machine gun. You have to pay a $700 tax, and you can buy a machine gun. You can buy any machine gun made before a certain year. There's a lot of anyone could buy a machine gun. It's not like you have to do much. Anyone could buy a silencer.
I heard you can buy a tank.
Yeah, you can buy a tank.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay a sales tax, a tax stamp is what they call it. But you can buy anything. But you have to pay, and it's not like, hey, that's against the law, that's wrong. It's like, that's against the law unless you give me some money. It's so blatantly obvious that it's just what the mob, extortion. It's just extortion. I learned that lesson when I was young, and my ex-wife just would write bad checks. And in Texas, you go to prison for write bad checks. So it goes to the district attorney or the county attorney, and then they charge you like $200 a check. So she wrote like 10 checks, like $2,000. Then you go to jail for theft by check, or you pay $2,000 and absolutely nothing happens. It's not even on a record. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's completely legal. All you have to do is pay. So you could break the law. It's a real law that lots of people go to prison for. Lots of people in Texas will go to prison for theft by check. But if you just pay, and it's not like you go to court. You just go down to the office, and they're like, "Hey, we won't do anything." You buy your check.
What?
You just buy your check. You give them.
That's where like sometimes there is no justice. I have to tell you, like they're just the criminals get away with so much. It's
She'd
really
write like $500
really
for checks. I go down there and give them $2,500, and they give me my 500 checks. $1 checks. That's it. Done. That was it. It's like you have 10 days. You get a certified letter 10 days from when you sign for it, or else they take it to they file theft by check, and then you get charged and you go to court. Or you go down there, you give them $200 on the amount of the check. They give the amount of the check to the person or company, and then like $20 or whatever of the fee, and the other $175 is theirs. That's it. That's how the county government works in every county in Texas.
Interesting.
But and then I heard this girl told me, she's like, oh, I dated this real rich dude, and they went to the park. And it was a real nice park, but you couldn't it was just for looking at. Like you couldn't use go on the grass in certain places. And they were going to have a picnic, and she was like, "Oh, I want to really be nice to go picnic over there. It's so scenic." And he goes, "Oh, you can go over there." She goes, "No, you're not allowed over there because there was a fine of like $50." He goes, "No, it just costs $50 to go over there." Because that's like the way that they think. It's not a real law. A lot of laws and restrictions are only for poor people that can't afford it. And when you have that mentality, it's not a law. It just costs a certain amount of money. And that's the whole problem with our system. That's why banks they're like, they break the law and rip people off and do terrible things, and they make $1 billion, and then they get fined $1 million. So it's not, you got to spend money to make money. They spent $1 million and they made $900 million profit. You can't argue with that.
It's crazy. All the stuff is crazy. Yeah, Toby Keith was a patriot and a very, very great man, very much awake and loved our country, and it's a great loss to our country. And this was interesting. The little boy that got just
The Chiefs kid.
Yeah, that they smeared him. He went to the Super Bowl wearing his face paint and headdress.
What do you got to say, buddy? How about that? He's going to the Super Bowl.
What's the game day prediction? Is it still the
What's-
same?
what's that?
31-28.
31-28.
Still the same.
All right, let's
I don't
see
know
how
who
you fare
won or
against
whatever,
these.
but
A lot of people get paid.
thought he was adorable.
The Chiefs won.
Oh, did they lose?
No, they won. It was very
Oh,
close.
they won.
It was
Okay.
a very good game.
Oh.
It was overtime.
I have no idea. I did find a new channel that during while the Super Bowl was on, I guess we were wanting to watch some of the commercials, and there's this channel on Rumble called Screw Big Gov, and it's these bunch of guys, and they only played the commercials and the halftime thing. And then they gave commentary about it and stuff, and they seem to be patriots and pretty nice guys, funny guys.
Commercials were not great. They were not great.
Yeah, and the halftime thing was pretty mild. So it seems like, I mean, that gave me a little more hope that maybe the White Hats are in control, and like it seemed less satanic than usual.
Except for the satanic chick doing the satanic stuff with Taylor Swift.
Well, she was up in the stands though,
Yeah,
with her little
that was pretty
McDonald haired buddy doing satanic shit.
It was weird that she did that and was wearing an upside down cross. It was just very odd.
Yeah, but that wasn't on the field though. And then Usher was dancing like Michael and wearing one glove, and
I didn't get any of it. Like the outrage.
And he was in silver.
Everyone was talking about the Black national anthem. How they played a Black national anthem before the regular national anthem.
Well, I missed that part.
I was like, what? I thought they were talking about Post Malone.
I didn't know.
Post Malone sang a song. I'm like, it's kind of weird that they played that instead of the national anthem.
Maybe because it's Black History Month or something.
I don't know.
And I could just be totally naive about this.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, they're doing a lot of music before. And my friend's like, can you believe that Black national anthem? I was like, there was a Black what?
I don't know.
But I think people are. And then after that, I saw all this outrage, but I think it's all like staged to piss people off.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of it is just to.
And they were pissed because Carrie Lake didn't stand for the Black national anthem.
Usher was wearing a phoenix. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a comeback. I didn't think it was a comeback. But
I don't think it was a comeback. It was pretty mild.
It was it was a nice show.
Yeah, it was, a halftime show. I hope everybody got up and got some popcorn and went potty. It's fine. I don't think it was.
That's not what they do at the Super Bowl, but okay. All right, you want to jump over to my channel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, you guys. We'll see you on Sean's channel. There's a link in my description to jump over to Sean's channel. And thanks for watching, you guys. Give me a like and share the video. I don't think Toby was jabbed up. I would doubt it highly. So see you guys soon.